fireplaces. It's hard to carry on when you feel all alone. Now I've swung back down again. It's worse than it was before. If I had seen such riches, I could live with being poor. Oh, sit down, oh, sit down, oh, sit down. Sit down next to me. Sit down, 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 down. Sympathy.
Evening. What a panel tonight, people. What a panel tonight. We have the long-haired Yeti. How you doing, my friend?
Mate, I'm good, mate. Living the dream as it is, getting booted off YouTube and all that kind of stuff. It's all good, mate. It's all good.
Yeah, that was my fault. Oh, dear. We'll talk about that in a minute, mate. Abs, good to have you on, mate. How you doing?
Yeah, mate. I mean, yes, uncle. I'm happy to be here, mate. That intro nearly made me cry, man. Flipping heck.
Awesome.
Brilliant.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah, young Connor did that, man. He's a legend. Yeah, I love it. Kenny Ken, how you doing, my friend?
I said, you know what? There's one guy called Tony who's gonna really love this. I just managed to finish cooking jollof rice. And like a bit of potatoes and chicken. My wife, I just finished doing it, so I made, and because of you, Jez, I was cooking and watching the match, the second after the Manchester derby. So the food was right and ready. Was it ready? 20 minutes before our podcast started. So I was ample time. My wife's enjoying it. My youngest one says she's gonna plate it up, and so I'm ready and raring to go.
Nice one, mate. Tony, mate, always welcome on my show. How you doing, my friend?
Hey, Big Jezza, nice to see you. Yeah, it's becoming a habit. The other day, me and you were on a stream together on my channel, jumping and shouting for the Arsenal when we won. I hope by tomorrow you will be jumping with me because you'll be on that show with me tomorrow. Nice to see every other person here. My right-hand guy, Bantz, is down here. Of course, long-haired Yeti, big collaborator of mine. And of course, Kenny Ken. Nice to see you, man. And nice to hear that you got that jollof rice going on, man.
You better save me some, Ken, man. Yeah, I'm just down the road from you.
I think you better take Jez one day and go try out that jollof rice, man. Jez might like it with some plantains.
I will. I love it.
I'd be able to cook the potato pot, but that's about it.
No, I love jerk chicken, man. I love that. I love that all day long.
No, Jez, you got to go from what my wife cooks all that. She loves all of that, but I do try to season some of the chicken that I make with the jollof rice with jerk seasoning, curry seasoning, Chinese seasoning. I try to make it all continents.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Right, let's get into this. Good evening, Jack. Hope you're well, mate. And we got Dow's in the house. Dow, good to see you, my friend. I hope you're feeling a lot better now. I know you're very poorly under the weather. Right, I want to talk about this one, right? I did a watch along yesterday afternoon with the Yeti, right? Great show. We did actually 2 watch alongs. We did the game after the Villa game. I want to talk about this incident in that game. The Forest goalkeeper clearly taken out. Yellow card. I'm sorry, to me, that's violent conduct. He headbutts the goalkeeper. So how, I'm going to come to you, Yeti, as it's Forest. Yeah. How was that not a red card?
You tell me, mate. I don't know how the game works nowadays because that is a clear headbutt and he's not looking at the ball or anything like that. He's looking at the keeper's head. So he goes clear in with his head. I mean, I don't understand how that's not a red card. I don't understand how it don't get looked at more or whatever. I hope we appeal it, to be honest, because it was disgusting and it could have been a concussion or something like that. You know, I mean, you can't. I mean, he's a young player, look, you know, and he has to learn the ways. You know, it's not. I mean, not like the Mandalorian, but you know, I mean, it's like you can't just go and headbutt people like that, man.
No, I mean, to me, I mean, unfortunately, they can't appeal it because it's a yellow card. But it wasn't checked by VAR.
No check at all.
And I'm thinking, not seeing that one. I mean, I watched it. We watched it back together, the replay, and it's clear. He went. Boom.
It was a Glasgow kiss, mate. Boom.
It was. It was. So I don't understand it. Abs. I don't know if you saw the game, but to me was clearly violent conduct. Keeper's off the ground, right? Yeah, he's got the ball. The player comes in, clearly contacts his head. Forest goalkeeper goes down. All that drama. How's that not a red card? I'm sorry, I don't understand.
Yeah, I actually watched that whole game, and I was just like, when I saw that, I was like, what's the ref doing here? Well, you know, did he see it? You know, not even there was not even no VAR. It was just like, oh, let's see how the keeper is, if he's okay, you know. And the keeper was down for a little bit as well. And I was just thinking, come on, you've got to do some VAR on this. You've got to go back and see that, because he clearly headbutts the goalkeeper, and there was just nothing, you know, nothing. So it just, I don't know. Sometimes I don't want to start talking about corruption and all that kind of stuff right now, but it does make you think sometimes. You know, what are you playing at? What are these refs playing at times?
I think it was quite shocking. The referee had a clear line of sight.
Yeah,
clear line of sight, right? And he did nothing. Yellow card for that? No, Kenny. I mean, it was a joke, wasn't it? I mean, the fact you challenge the goalkeeper is off the ground. You go in, right? The goalkeeper's got the ball, and you headbutt him. That to me is a red card.
Well, yeah, because look, violent conduct is violent conduct. Simple as, you know, you raise if the head goes in, you raise your hand. It's always been all you show studs. It's automatic red card, because you know, like I said, what they're deeming is that you're endangering the safety of a player. Headbutts endanger the safety of a player. Over the top tackles with studs endanger the safety of a player. You know, raising your hands, a fist endangers the safety of a player. So, in that respect, you know, the referee, you know, has got that one wrong, 100%. I've always been an advocate of that. Either you send people off for dangerous foul play, or you don't. You can't have a grey area. You just can't.
No.
You know, and that's if it doesn't matter where you want to, you know, the game to flow. The fact is that some referees are doing their jobs and others aren't. And so you've got to be consistent. Doesn't matter where it affects the game, who it affects, where it affects Liverpool or not Forest or any other team. The rules are rules, and that's all fans want, is everything to be done.
Yeah, basic.
You know, if consistency, don't care. Look, if Arsenal are playing in a game, right, and we're in the ground, we can't see clearly that instant, but say Martinelli was sent off for having a go at Vicario. If I went home and I saw that what Martinelli done, you would have no complaints for me. But it's when you go home after a game and you see that, you're thinking, God, why? Because far-reaching consequences for everyone. Because you think about it. Thank God for Burnley, you know, Sheffield United, to a certain extent, Luton, who are so naive. Because supposing if those teams weren't that far into the abyss of relegation, teams like your Evertons, your Forests, your Brentfords, or Crystal Palace, they could be in deep. They could go down a division.
True, very true, mate. Tony, did you? I mean, if you saw the game, I mean, to me, it's just blatant and obvious that is a red card.
See, Jezza, everyone in this panel have already, echoed that point already. See, but I think it's a more bigger criticism down here, Jezza. I think over 2 seasons now, the protection for goalkeepers has dwindled over the years. Even the same thing with Arsenal. You see, even Benjamin White this season, the way we take our set pieces now, yeah, you see him, hovering around the goalkeeper, trying to obstruct his view in a way. Same thing. Studs is up. That isn't even a yellow card. That's a red card. There's no, I just don't know the protection afforded to goalkeepers has seriously dwindled, and even apart from the dwindling protection for goalkeepers at all, how about the VAR? That's why you have technology out there.
Yeah.
What is the need of having this multi-billion-dollar technology that burning a hole in your offices down there wherever they're watching it, and you can't revert back to it? I bet you if that was affecting Liverpool, it will get a call back. That would definitely get a check back. If it was Man City, it will get a check back. So what's with the disparity, between all parties, not having or afforded the same kind of respect when it comes to the use of this technology? That's why you have it. Go back there and check and use it efficiently. It's a big problem. And Tenny was a poor referee. Yet you have to agree with me with it. A poor referee in yesterday. 100%. Lots of tackles went unchecked. It was a horrible show yesterday. And Jezza, the timing yesterday. You can't go through the show without talking about that timing yesterday. 8 minutes passed. These guys are scoring after the legal time limit. Jez, what are we doing here? What has this done to?
That is a great point. I actually brought the Yeti and I talked about that today when we were doing the United Man City United watch along. I don't understand sometimes what's happening here. If you've got 6 minutes of added time, right? 6 minutes, the referee then allows, let's say, 30 odd seconds for time wasting. We are seeing an awful lot of this now. I'm going to come to you, Abs, first on this, mate. We've seen an awful lot of this now. 6 minutes extra time. The referee will have another 30 seconds for a ball out of play, time wasting, and it ends up being 8.5 minutes. Now, let's be fair. It's worked in Arsenal's favour, hasn't it? Let's be truthful. Right? Banging goal right at the death, right? Yesterday, the whole thing, I have to say, Nottingham Forest cocked it because he should have put that into row Z.
100%.
But Abs, what do you make of this? I just think it's madness. What's going on? If you got 6 minutes, then it's 6 minutes, not 8.5.
Oh, these guys are making up the rules as they go along. At times, I thought it was 8 minutes. Was it 8 minutes or was it 6 minutes yesterday?
It might have been 8 minutes. It might have been.
I think it was 6 or 8 minutes, but still, the game was still finished at 99 minutes apparently. So
it was 8 minutes went to 9.
Yeah, I don't get these refs. I don't know what kind of things they're stopping play for. Obviously there's the throw-ins. There's little injuries as well, how long players take to pick themselves up and all that kind of stuff. I really just don't know what's going on with the game. You know what? Today, I was just sitting here just thinking, this game, man. I don't love this game like I used to, man. I don't love it as much as how I fell in love with it before, because it's just constant changes. Like this season, the amount of time they're adding on as well. It's like they want to see more goals in games. They want to see more controversial moments. It's strange. I just don't know what's going on. I really don't know what's going on.
The thing is, it's not stopping the time wasting, is it? Let's face it.
No, it's not.
Not stopping it. I mean, and to be fair, I will be fair on Forest's part. We was doing a fair bit of time wasting. So the extra minute was probably down to us in that respect anyway. So you've also got to take that into account as well. But the thing is, for me, is all we have to do is put that ball in Rosette. And, we get a draw from Liverpool. And we made him look quite ordinary, I thought, personally.
Well, definitely. You know the problem is, it's a consequence of the World Cup. Whenever there's a major tournament, especially in FIFA and UEFA, it always trickles down to the Premiership. No matter how much the public want the Premiership resist, they always resist. For instance, we used to remember the spray, like the white spray to signify free kicks. That came from the World Cup. Back passes law came from the European Championships in 1992, and now we've got a situation in the World Cup where we were having 8 minutes injury time. In some cases, we're having 14 minutes. This is something all the managers said, no, we can't have that. We can't have that. Well, we're having it. And until, we have a situation where there's less time wasting, and there's less, time celebrating the goal. This is what we're going to get. I was watching the Man United game, and Nana, when it was 1-1, was not wasting enough time pretending to have cramp. That's the situation that, I don't know why players don't realise, right, that referees are going to stop the watch. It's not like the good old days where there wasn't so many TV cameras and there wasn't, like I said, wall-to-wall football where you could get away with injury time. Injury time was the discretion. It wasn't monitored. Now, everything is so monitored now that you are going to get situations. And say if you score in the 95th minute of injury time when there's 3 minutes left, but by the time you celebrate a goal, by the time you get to centre circle, that's at least a minute and a half, 2 minutes. So is there any wonder that you are going to get a situation where 97 minutes turns into 100 minutes, and that's the situation. They'll bang on it now, bang on it. Yes, it's 100%. It's going to favour the big clubs. Always will favour the big clubs, especially the big clubs, because the anticipation is that they're always going to be an attack. So because they're always going to be an attack, referees will always think, right, he's in the attack, he's going down a wing, he's getting in the box. The Nottingham Forest's players made a tackle, boom. Do I give a foul? Do I give a penalty? Do I not? Before VAR, that was a penalty. With VAR now, it's still subjective. And that's the thing. No matter how much technology you have, the mentality is the big teams are always going to get decisions because, they're always on attack. Their managers are massive personalities and they feel that, they have a right to win a match, and referees tend to agree with them.
Fact. Just want to bring this point up. It is Jack Savage says it's learn their effing rules. It's a minimum of 8 minutes. Well, actually, it's not rules. It's actually the laws of the game. Football is the laws of the game. It's not rules of football. It's the laws of the game. And how can it be a minimum of 8 minutes? If you've got 3 minutes of extra time, it's only 3 minutes, isn't it? Or have I got?
He's actually got a point. He's got a point. Although he put it in. I know he's a Liverpool fan. He must be fuming with us, but the point I did explain is substitutions within. At the end of the day, they take in consideration substitutions within that injury time, plus like infringements, players getting in referees' faces, wasting time. They've got to stop the watch for that. Goal celebrations. So, that when he although he's put it in such Anglo-Saxon terms as to say, don't you dare criticise my Liverpool. We done it. We won for a score. Stop crying and stop bitching, which he should have probably said rather than just use the F word. That is the situation, and I think that's what happens with a lot of small clubs now, or teams that are hanging on for that. That 1-0 or that 1-1. Unfortunately, Big Brother's watching, and he's right. The minimum rules are a minimum. But the reason why it's a minimum is because of all the other things that go on within that 8 minutes where play has to stop.
The thing is, we lost that game because we didn't put the ball in the back of the net.
Yeah.
Well, the fact is, you should have kicked the ball into Rosette in the last 30 seconds.
But we could have won the game if we could have put the ball in the back of the net. We had so many chances.
Yeah, that's it. Anyway, Tony, let's move it on. game today. I mean, the result yesterday didn't go our way. I was hoping we were going to get maybe Forest to help us get a point. Forest would get a point or maybe 3. It didn't happen. Went wrong. Disappointment. And today, Man United 1-0 up. Great goal from Rashford. Great goal. And they capitulated 3-1. So the results haven't helped us this weekend at all. Disappointing for us, man, isn't it, really? What do you think we've got to be mentally strong now tomorrow night. We've got to go away to Sheffield United and we've got to put our foot on their throats. And give me your view of it. The results haven't helped us at all. And now we've got to be very mentally strong, man.
Yeah, Jezza, see, you did put it quite well, man. We have to show mental strength. Any form of mental fragility has to be pushed away from this Arsenal team. This is the time we have to grab these games by the scruff of its neck and suffocate these teams more. But Jezza, just before we even get into all this, shenanigans with the Sheffield United and whatnot, we have to agree that Arsenal over these past weeks, have improved. Our total gameplay has improved. Second balls, we're in it. The duels, we're in it. The one-on-ones, we're in it. The counter-pressing, we're in it. We're fainting the press. Individual battles, they're won. Attacking, defending, we're all good. Accessing the box, we're superb. Set pieces, that's a different ball game altogether. See, this is, they're playing in the league more like a team, and that's what we want to see. See, going into the Sheffield United matchup we just have to go there. Don't pay any respect to these guys, because I believe that Arsenal's fear factor has taken a big hit since last season. So the more we actually beat these teams, with more goals, pump them or pound them seriously, the fear factor for the next team coming or stepping up to us, will be out there. And Jezza, Sheffield United, poor team, languishing in the dregs of the table this season. In 26 games, these guys have only scored 22 goals. Just let this sink in, because you have to tell me this. When was the last time you heard of a team in the Premier League that has conceded 66 goals in 26 matches? When was the last time you've heard of that? This team is poor. This team is piss poor, Jessa. Poor. We should be going down there, imposing our games on these guys. They don't have anything going on defending. They have Troste, who we did buy, and entrusted Trusty down to Sheffield United, and it's looking like a like a rotisserie chicken. Useless.
Trusty the process.
I don't know why we even got that guy in the first place. Defending, nothing to write home about. They have nothing to give in attack. Arsenal have scored 25 goals in the month of February. That month of February surpasses what they have scored the entire season. They've only scored 22 goals this season. So we have to go down there to Sheffield United, pick these guys up, smack them up, increase also our goal difference. Jezza, you also have to remember that, because this is looking like one of those freak seasons yet again. So we also have to increase our goal tally, the amount of goals we're beating these teams. I remember when I sat down on my show and I asked you, Jezza, about, hey, should we just sit back and, just close the game? You said no. Attack, score more goals. There's a reasoning behind that. Because if you look at Liverpool is beating these teams with 2-3 more goals. So at the end of the day, in this tripartite title run in, you do need goal difference to, call the shots later on. For some reason, Arsenal have gone at par because of the month of February with Liverpool. So we do need to go to Sheffield United, beat them up with at least 4 to 5 goals, rest easy, and on to the next one. The next one will be Brentford. That'll be a big one, because that'll be an audition for Ivan Toney. So, we can't play with this particular game. We don't know what's going to happen against Brentford, and definitely, after that Porto and then Manchester City, we don't have no room to actually drop points right now. As you can see, the stakes are higher. Liverpool is scraping up points. It looks like the referees are also with them. Manchester City never looking back, even if they have clear vulnerabilities at the back, but yet they're winning games. Arsenal have to go into these games, these teams, just do our job and keep the pace, up there with the top guns this season. That's all.
Fact. I just want to shout this one out. Helen Raybold gifted one Arsenal History More membership. Thank you for that, Helen. If anybody has received that, please put a shout out to Helen for doing that. Kenny, the results haven't gone our way this weekend. Disappointing. Hope they would have gone a little bit better. Giving us a little bit of, wiggle room, if you like it. But we've got to go up to Sheffield tomorrow night, mate. And we've got to put our foot on this. We can't afford any nonsense. Man City have won, Liverpool have won. We're in the contention. We're there. We can't afford any slip-ups, mate, can we?
No, that's all. I think what happens, right, is that from the time we beat Liverpool, we force ourselves back into the title contention. And obviously, with Man City winning their game and having it against Brentford, the motto for Arsenal now is sleep with one eye open. Don't expect favours from anyone else. You have to assume, be pessimistic in a positive way and say, right, Liverpool beating Nottingham Forest, Man United are going to lose to Man City. We've got to beat, like Sheffield United, and that's got to be our attitude from the rest of the season. We can't afford to drop any points. I've been in podcasts where people say, how many points can Arsenal afford to drop to the end of the season? They can't, because out of the 3 teams, only one of them is going to go unbeaten. Only one of them is, because both of them have got 6-pointers. Man City got a 6-pointer next week against Liverpool. We've got a 6-pointer in 4 weeks' time at the Etihad. So it's impossible for all 3 teams to go unbeaten. So the situation is that just win all your games. Just assume, don't wait for favours for anyone else. You've got a chance to actually do yourself a favour by winning the Etihad. Just like Liverpool can do themselves a favour by beating Man City. Just like Man City could do themselves a favour by beating Liverpool at Anfield and beating us 3 weeks later. That's the situation. No one's got dropping points. All the big teams have got equal strengths. Our strengths are our defence. Man City's strengths is their ability to, keep on going, having quality against low blocks. Liverpool's strengths is their attack. This is going down to the wire. Well, you can't write any of it over. In terms of Sheffield United, we're going to beat Sheffield United, because simple reasons they haven't got the confidence. They go down and it become an avalanche. So I always expected that it would be business as usual. And it's going to be like that as well. The good thing about it is that the week after next, all the top 3 teams are not going to be playing in the league, but our rivals, Man United Man City, Liverpool in the FA Cup, we can just put our feet up. So I don't know whether that's going to be an advantage or not. But I just look at the way things are going to go. Blink and you miss it. Any team that drops points is putting themselves under pressure. And that includes us. It's no given, that we're going to, after when we play Man City, we're going to beat Aston Villa at home. No given we're going to beat Spurs. It's going to be difficult. So's Man United. It's going to be difficult. And then, Brighton's going to be difficult. That's another away game. For some reason, a lot of people are saying Wolves, but I look at the 3 kingmakers. Man City have already beaten one of their kingmakers. Look, Man United, Liverpool and Arsenal still play. Man United, Brighton, Spurs. Those 3 teams, all traditionally, and also Aston Villa, all those traditionally they're difficult games. If you get through them and win your 6-pointers, you've won the league. But so many, it's the title challenge started on the 4th of February. We
What
beat
is that?
Liverpool.
What is that noise in the background?
Who's
What's that? What's the noise in the
It's not me.
background?
Not me.
Sound like you'd have me breathing doing one of them phone calls.
Yeah, that's
It's
heavy breathing.
He's someone doing work off their phone on the laptop.
Someone snorkel.
Let me mute myself.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't hear it now.
Don't know.
Yeah.
What about now?
Yeah.
Can you hear it?
It's calm now.
Just stop breathing, Abs. Just stop breathing until the end.
All right, I'll do that for you. Yeah.
Abs, I want to ask you the same thing, man. I want to ask you the same thing. You know, results didn't help us this weekend, which is a shame. I was really hoping, you know, something would go our way. But as Kenny quite rightly has said, we can't rely on anybody else. We're on our own. You know, we're fighting. Tomorrow night we've got to go up to Sheffield. You know, Bramall Lane, tricky place to go, but we just got to put our foot on the gas and the other foot on their throat. We can't afford, mate, to mess about. And after that, I'm gonna ask another question. But Abs, give me your view on it, man.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, we're all football fans here, aren't we? You know, and I suppose we're all competitive as well. So I suppose, you know, Kenny Ken is obviously right. You know, really, we've got to rely on our own selves to go and beat these teams. But there's always that what if, you know, especially I think not so much the City game, it was the Liverpool game where there was a possibility of them dropping points. That one, I don't know, for some reason, that one hurt me yesterday. That really hurt me yesterday because when you see things like that, you just think, you ask that question, is it their year? Is it gonna be their season? Yeah. You know, getting those last minute wins and stuff like that. So not so much the City game, because there was every City don't lose at home. Let's be real now. Yeah. Even when they play shit, they hardly lose at home. So I weren't really too bothered about the City game, but the Liverpool game, that kind of like, oh, flipping heck, man, they bloody won again, you know. So they're 5 points ahead of us now, I believe. And yeah, we've just got to every game. I keep saying this on Tony streams, wherever any stream I go on, every game for us is like a cup final, and I have to be confident about Sheffield United. I know it's a hard place to go, and I don't want to give it the 7-0, 6-0, 5-0 or anything. I just want 3 points. I don't care if it goes off Havertz's bloody nose, you know, if Nketiah plays his shin, whoever. I just want 3 points in that game, yeah. Because Liverpool, they're saying it's over to you now, Arsenal. You know, City, it's over to you now, Arsenal. You know, we're waiting for you to bottle. We're waiting for you to lose, yeah, because that's what they expect of us. They expect us. Even this guy here, he's waiting for us to bottle it. Yeah,
he's waiting for us to bottle it.
So you know what? We've just got to just go in, positive attitude, beat these teams. I don't care if it's 5-6-0, 1-0. We just got to beat them because every team's motivated when it comes to Arsenal. Oh, do you know what? It's Arsenal. They still want to fight us. Yeah, when it's City and it's, you know, Liverpool, it's do you know what? Yeah, we give them a game, but I don't know, you know. So I don't think Arsenal have got that full respect yet, and deservedly so. You know, until we win something, we're not going to get that respect. However, we have to build from somewhere, isn't it? And at the moment, we're building something special. So let's continue and let's keep winning games by hook or by crook.
Fact, yeah, that's very well said as well. Yeti, you know, you said today you're still annoyed about what happened. Good evening, Steffi. Hope you're well. And I was on the show with you yesterday afternoon. I was very annoyed.
Yeah,
you let it crumble, man. I mean, let's be honest. You had a chance there to get a point, threw it away. because you just didn't do the job of just spinning that ball, Rose Head, put it in the River Trent. Didn't happen, and it's cost you vital 3 points.
Gutted, mate. At the end of the day, but I'm also really happy at the way we played. For the first time, I've actually seen us play in a way that we can definitely get out of the situation that we're in. So yeah, I'm happy about that. The finishing was what let us down. In fact, decisions let us down, and I'm not talking about refs. I'm talking about our decisions. There was a point where we got through and passed it to Morgan Gibbs White. Danilo was running through. He was the man. He was on his own. You give it to him, he's going to shoot from outside the box. Could have gone in. You never know. So yeah, we could have won that actually, not just drawn it. To be fair, but it goes how it goes. But when it comes to you guys, pressure's on now, boys. Pressure's on, and it's all going to come down to whether you can do different to last season, or if you're going to let it go. I mean, like Ab says, he's over there. He's over there. Like Ab says, basically, I don't want you to fail. I want Arteta to fail. I do 100% want Arteta to fail. But I have massive respect for all you guys, all you Arsenal fans, and I do want to see you do well in that respect. But the thing is tomorrow when you play Sheffield United, you've got to go straight for the throat, and you've got to get past this low block, park the bus type of counter-attacking thing. For that, I mean, the only thing I would say about you guys at the minute is your passing needs to be quicker to actually be able to defeat the low block, because you do kind of struggle with that. And that is pretty much what you've got to do tomorrow. But quoting two of my favourite films, Menace to Society, The Hunt is On, and You're the Prey, and also Alien, yeah? Do you want it on your feet or on your fucking knees? And that's all I've got to say.
Good point. It's a good point. I'm going to come back to your question at the end about predictions for tomorrow. Okay, I'll start it. Kenny, question. I've seen a few people talking about this. When we're up against Brentford, we can't play Raya because he's a lone player. Would you start Ramsdale tomorrow night to get him a little bit match aware, or no? Because I personally wouldn't myself.
No, not. I think the situation is Rams. You want to play your full team today, because let's face it, Ramsdale has to be ready when he's called upon. That the reason why they pay you all that money per week is to be ready when you need it. Look at Liverpool, Kelleher. He doesn't know when his next game's come from, but when he plays for Liverpool, he's ready. He was ready to get the cup final, knew he was going to play that, but he didn't know he was going to play league games. So he has to be ready. And I think the same thing with Aaron Ramsdale now. That's what, if you're number two at a big club, it's no good giving you a game so you could be ready for the kind of next game. He has to be ready for Brentford, and be up for it. He was a bit rusted when we played him last time. This time, I think he definitely is going to be ready, because anything can happen with Raya, mate. Anything can happen with Raya at Sheffield. And who knows, Aaron may be needed for the game against Porto in the cup. So you just don't know it's the situation. Aaron's fate was decided last season when we didn't win the league. I never was convinced that Arteta was all for that goalkeeper. I never thought that he saw Aaron as his number one, because all I see of Arteta is players being excellent on the ball. That's been his forte. That's why the minute I saw Tierney being substituted, put on a bench, I just feared for Aaron Ramsdale, and I was proving right. But yeah, he won't play tomorrow, but he has to be ready when we play against Brentford. And then, barring any accidents to the Raya, he just, as a number two should be at a big club, be ready for action. You never know what will happen in football. You just never know.
True. That's abs. What's your opinion?
Okay.
Abs, what's your opinion on this, mate? This fact of Ramsdale, Raya tomorrow night. Where would you go with it?
You know what, man? As you mentioned Ramsdale, yeah, I just got really twitchy and nervous, because this is a guy that's not played football for ages. And it's worrying, yeah, that the game against Brentford, especially against the likes of Tony, yeah, big, physical, forward, hasn't really didn't really play that well against West Ham. I don't know how he played against Chelsea, but he's the type of striker that's going to be putting on an audition for Arsenal when it comes to playing them. And Ramsdale, he gives me the heebie-jeebies, man. That guy's going to be rusty as hell. It's a good point that you raised. Would you play him tomorrow? I'm kind of like leaning towards possibly. I probably would, because, as I said, yeah, I don't think Sheffield United are great, and I'm not advocating we're going to batter them 7-0, 21-0 or anything like that. But it's a difficult one, man. I'm actually sitting on the fence with that. I don't think I can answer that one, because although Kenny makes a great point, keeping your first 11 or whatever, Raya's not going to get tired, by the way. He can play games, but I'm just nervous about Ramsdale, man. Do you know what I mean? Is he gonna unsettle the back four now? Because they get a bit nervy when he plays now. So maybe keep Raya for tomorrow, and then just drop. Well, Ramsdale's got no choice, has he, to play against Brentford? So, but I'm not too confident with Ramsdale anymore, and that's the God's honest truth, to be honest.
Fair enough. Yeah. Okay. Just want to shout out, people, if you're new in here, sub and smash the likes. The likes really help the stream. And go and sub and like all the other channels that Mammoth Floss is linked in the chat. Tony, what's your view, man? Ramsdale or Raya tomorrow night?
See, Jez, Arsenal have no choice than to drop Raya for that Brentford matchup. So, if I make a lot better, I would actually keep Raya on the bench just to get, Ramsdale up to speed. Because he hasn't been getting games. Let's be very sincere. He hasn't been getting any games. There are no cup games, available for this club side. Thanks to Mikel Arteta, we're out of all of them, because these are those cup games were the games that at least Ramsdale would have been, getting match fitness. Right now, thanks to Mikel Arteta, we're out of all of them. So, we have to build match fitness at least for him so that he could be in that matchup. Because, see, guys, don't get this twisted, yeah? I don't respect Sheffield United. Any team that has, considered 66 goals in 26 games. I'm sorry. I've seen them play this season. Eddie Nketiah got a hat-trick. Guys, let this sink in. Eddie Nketiah. Eddie Nketiah got a hat-trick against this team. So it's not something out of the ordinary. It's something we can afford to risk Ramsdale to come in there, get match fitness, and at least be in that game so that it could put him in a better place to play against Brentford. Because just throwing him out there to, against Brentford when Ivan Toney will be having his grand audition, that's where I have a problem with. Because we all know that Arsenal failed to deal with, strong aerial, strong attackers with aerial ability, strong, can hold up play. We don't get to handle those kind of players very well. Just ask Awuni what happened, when Saliba and Gabriel stepped up to him. We always have problems with those kind of strikers. So that's my fear. So the thing there is, let's just give Ramsdale this one. Let Raya sit down, and Ramsdale coming for this one, gain that match fitness. But again, Jezza, if you look at that Sheffield United team, I want to use this to buttress my point. Brewster is the striker they have this season. Brewster I think, is in contention to come back because he's injured. Brewster isn't looking good. He has 0 goals this season in 26 games.
He has his back as well.
Nothing to write home about. They have a so-called Manchester City gem who is playing for them in that team and is playing as a striker for them on the right-hand side, and that's McAtee. McAtee is even more better because he's played 26 games. He's gotten about 3 goals. He's helping them play. That's the only shining light they have in the attack. Apart from that, there's nothing to write home about. I'm still saying their defense will be having a big time to cope with Arsenal's set-piece prowess. Big problems. Trustees at the back. Amadou Zovic, a central defender that they have down there, actually plays on the right-hand side, but is a makeshift central defender that they're using and playing him out on the right because they play a 3-5-2 system. So it's nothing to write home about. Doesn't have the pace to cope with Bukayo Saka as far as I'm concerned. They do have Trusty. Jezza, you know all about Trusty. Their midfield is nothing to write home about. Declan Rice is going to bump them. So, let's bring in Ramsdale into the fray, give him match fitness so that, we can be at least rest assured that in that Brentford game, he won't go there and just give the ball up or give it away to Ivan Toney to score a goal.
Fact on that one. Just go through some of this chat here. Helen says, I don't think Sheffield United is a Premier team. Certainly not.
No.
Certainly not. I'm going to come to you in a minute.
I don't respect the team.
Lamray Adi Bambo, great show, guys. Thank you for joining us, my friend. Good to see you in here. Aaron Knowles, 3-0 up at half time and sub Ramsdale on. That's an option, I suppose. But Drew Gunner says, keep Raya in goal, don't break up the team. That's my opinion. Super chat, thank you, mate, from Rajat Singh. Liverpool will lose to City versus Arsenal be champs. Interesting, mate. Thank you for your super chat. Yeti.
Yeah.
What's your opinion, man? Raya, Ramsdale tomorrow night? Who?
Oh, I think Ramsdale's a really good shot stopper. And like I said to you earlier, Ramsdale was an ex-Sheffield United player as well. So, I mean, that might come into it. I mean, the thing is with Raya, for me, is I think they're both good shot stoppers, to be fair. But I'm not an Arsenal fan, but every time I see Raya get the ball at his feet, even I'm like, oh, my days. You know what I mean? There is times where he just dilly-dallies a little bit too much, and that could give them that goal that they need to then just sit back on. And as for what Tony says about I don't respect Sheffield United, you didn't respect us last season and at the end of in the end game of the season, and we beat you. So you can't go into games not respecting the opposition because they've always got that opportunity to actually make something happen. And Brereton Diaz is probably back. I've heard that he might be back tomorrow as well. So, it might not be Brewster. It might be him. So I think, to be quite honest, you've just got to be Arsenal. You've got to go there and you've got to do what you should be doing against teams like that. And that's not disrespecting them. That's just saying that you are the better side. So you need to go out there and prove it and not just think that you're going to win anyway. Because if you go with that attitude, they'll probably hit you and hurt you.
Fact. Absolute fact, that is. Manny says, at Drew Gunner's VR agreed, no game can be risked. Not now. Ramsdale should continue to train and he'll step in against Brentford. But Raya will play against the Blades. What if Aaron makes a mistake tomorrow? Well, this is the question. It's one of them. It's a tricky one, but big question. Personally, I'm a great believer of this. Kenny, I'm going to come to you on this one, mate. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. We're playing great football. Raya at the moment, I think, is playing very well. I haven't got a problem with him. Yeah, we've got to go to Sheffield tomorrow night. And I think we've just got to go and boss it and do exactly what we've been doing against teams like West Ham, Newcastle, etc., etc. I don't see any point in changing things at all. At this, as you quite rightly said, Ramsdale is a professional goalkeeper. He should be ready like that anyway to come off the bench if needed. So I wouldn't want to change it at all.
Yeah, 100%. We've got to go with continuity. I still believe that our best chance of silverware is this league. It's not putting out our chance of the Champions League. My viewpoint is nothing to do with our previous record. A lot of it to do is our makeup of the team, the way we play our football. The way we play, the style of play we play, the strengths. Our strengths is this league. We play a high-pressed, high-tempo game, and we rely a lot on athleticism. That is the Premiership. In Europe, you need a bit more than that to win games. You need to be able to, how to say it, get the balance between playing slow, and then accelerating your tempo when you're in the last third, and then reverting back to slow. We just can't do that. This Arsenal team's not made to do that. No matter how much we've improved off the ball, improved in terms of our compact. In Europe, we just lot of novices. For instance, you look at Europe, you look at Kivior in the Premiership against the teams that are just direct, brilliant. In Europe, no chance, no way.
Nah.
And I think, and so that my theme is you've got to, go with the best and just batter Sheffield United. I'm not saying if Ramsdale plays, we're going to lose, because Sheffield United have got no confidence. But this is business. This is this isn't the FA Cup. This ain't the what I'd say the Carling Cup or Carabao Cup. This is the league. You've got to be ruthless. You can't leave anything to measure. You have to assume that Sheffield United are going to, have a goal threat. They are going to sort of defend for their lives, and they might nick a goal. We just have to be pessimistic. You can't take anything for granted because the pressure's on, man. One of the things that, we're probably going to get to is, and it's probably my criticism of Arteta is that you can praise him for his ability to recognise things that are going wrong and changing them. You can praise the fact that he's very bold in, making some unpopular decisions, like leaving out Tierney, leaving out Ramsdale. One thing you can always have against him is his ability to cope under pressure, because this is a pressurised situation. We've seen that he isn't able to cope under pressure. So why put yourself under pressure by assuming that you're there, that you can rotate goalkeepers? You have to have the foot round the foot on the throat or hand on the windpipe, whatever you want to call it, and squeeze the life out of Sheffield. You owe them nothing. They knew exactly what the situation was when they didn't buy players for the Premier League. They knew that they were going to get some thrashings. Show them no mercy. Let's not forget when they beat us in the lockdown season. We never heard the end of it from them. Their players going on the fan cams. Their fans are going to the fan camps, slagging off our mentality, calling us soft. So we own one.
Yeah. Okay, before we wrap this up, before we go over to another show, Luke says, what are people's predictions for tomorrow night? Yeti as the neutral, mate. What's your view?
I think you win it really comfortably. I think if you play the football that you can play and you don't actually, underestimate them, which I think Liverpool did with us yesterday, and they didn't pay for it. I was going to say they paid for it, but they didn't. But I think if you go and play the football you can play and play quick passing football and scintillating football like you did last season, which I've seen a little bit of this season, to be fair. If you can play that game, then I think you win it comfortably 4-0, to be honest.
Fair play. 4-0. 4-0. Abs, what's your view, mate?
Yeah, I think Sheffield United are checked out, to be honest. You all saw that those guys, those defenders fighting in the last game.
That could galvanise them, though, mate.
It could, and it might not. So I do get your point. but I don't think they're as good as Forest. So I wouldn't compare them to you guys. You know what I mean? So I'm going to go for a 3-0. I think 3-0 would suffice Arsenal tomorrow.
Yeah, so I'm going 3-0 myself. Tony, mate, what's your view on it? What result do you see tomorrow?
Jez, in 15 games, these guys have only won 2 games. In 15, they've only won twice, and the last game they won was against Luton, a poor Luton team. So I have no respect for any team that Eddie Nketiah, rakes up a hat trick. That's where I'm coming from. I have no respect for a defense that has trusted, who will throw away, down there doing nothing. Consider 66 goals. I'm sorry, no respect. Arsenal should go, and respect in terms of because when we do show respect to some of these teams, sometimes we end up changing our game plan. And when we do change our game plan, it goes out the window. So we should not change anything. Go down there, make sure our respect that we've gained from these teams that we've pummeled in the past 5-6 games is intact. Go down there, pummel these guys. I'm going for a 7-0. It's going to be
clip him up, guys. Clip him up,
guys. It's going to be a rough tumble at Bramall Lane, Jess. And I thank God you will be there, Jezza, with me on the watch along. You're going to see what's going to happen. Any team that Eddie Nketiah is getting a hat trick, I don't respect that team. I'm sorry. It should be a 7-0 win. Easy win.
I respect what you're saying, man. I respect it. Manny says Arteta is far too emotional to be a top-class manager. Once he wins something big, then he can be taken seriously.
Yeah.
Agree with that one. Agree with that.
Me.
Another super chat in from Rajat Singh. Thank you, mate, for that. Arsenal are not as tired nor as stretched as City or Liverpool. Play Raya versus Sheffield United. Don't reinvent the wheel. Never underestimate Premiership teams. Go the Gooners. Totally agree with that, man. Kenny, give me your prediction for tomorrow, mate.
If we play to the best of our ability and Sheffield United flounder, then it's highly likely that we're going to score at least 4 or 5. It's just the facts. The way we're playing, the way we're finishing, it's very ruthless. You know what I mean? The tempo. I don't think Sheffield can deal with that tempo. They haven't got that confidence. One thing is that if we get the first one and we're at least 2-0 up in half time, then you've got to worry about Sheffield. You really have to worry about them. It's not putting Sheffield down. It's just the way we are playing. Let's not forget West Ham are a much better team than Sheffield, but we won that game because West Ham, for some reason, they conceded their second goal for the penalty. White flag went out, heads went down. Same thing with Burnley. As soon as the second and third one went in, the white flag went out, and that's what we're doing to teams. So I do expect Arsenal to win pretty comfortably because, I think this Arsenal team they don't just want to win games. They want to win games most importantly, but they want to set out a statement to say, you know what, we're not going away. I think us not winning the league last season hurt the team. Hence the fact that I believe that this team sees winning the league as more a priority than the Champions League. Doesn't mean they don't want to win the Champions League, but I do think this is Arsenal's priority and the manager's priority.
Yeah, fact.
That's
what.
Set pieces as well. We're very good at set pieces as well. So
Magalhaes is there. You know what I mean? Declan Rice's delivery.
Yeah, definitely. His delivery. And again, you can also notice that since when Declan Rice started taking our corner kicks, his delivery have been superb. There's this height, the depth and the whip with which he hits that ball and sets it up into the net. It's amazing. And mind you, Benjamin White, there's a different scenario he has taken this season, a different situational process he is taking. Is always in the 18-yard box, trying to, confuse the goalkeeper. At every corner kick, Arsenal has been playing. If you noticed it, I've noticed it at least for the 20 times in a row. He's out there, trying to distort the goalkeeper's vision, while Declan Rice just hits that perfect delivery with the height, depth, and whip into it, and sets Arsenal on that set piece trigger. Just remember, I said earlier in the show, our battle in terms of second balls were there. Our duels are one pretty much easier these days. 1v1s, counter press, the way we feint these presses, Jezza, it's looking good. Individual battles, our attacking, our defending, our accessing in the box, Jezza, it's looking good. I'm sorry, I don't want to wax too lyrical because of that game where we did flop against Porto, but Jezza, you have to admit it's looking good for now until we see clear lapses, and his substitutions has improved. What you've been asking this manager to do for a long time. But again, I don't know. Maybe it's because we're winning. What if we lose? What will happen to his substitution? Because for the past 6-7 games, it has improved. Does it revert back after a loss? So these are the things we need to check and put in check. Also our expectations also. But with a team against Sheffield United, you just have to go for the kill, innit?
Yeah, I totally agree with it, man. We're going to wrap it up now, people.
Just one more thing, Jez. Just one more thing. I want to bring you guys a little bit down to earth. I'm seeing all these scores 7-0 and all this, that, and the other. You said that about Porto, remember? Remember how that went?
I didn't. I didn't
say it against Porto.
When I was on the show, I said I was horrified when people said that we should keep the same team that beat Burnley, that we should make no changes. I was horrified because I always thought that Jorginho in Europe is a must because he controls his part. He's a European type player, so that's why I was shocked that he was on the bench. And I never write off a team that's won 2 Champions Leagues, which is 2 more than us.
Exactly.
They've got a better pedigree in Europe than us. So Arsenal fans are in no position to, buy into the bookies' bollocks of
we're the third. AFTV, Kenny, Porto aren't any better than Burnley.
AFTV is a CBeebies of football debate. Trust me. Watching AFTV is like watching Play School. Watching for Benjamin and Brian Cant and all those days where the window comes along, the different colours, they have a nice little sing along. I mean, that is AFTV. It's like watching
through the round window.
Really, the round window. Yeah, play school. That's AFTV. They know it. I'll tell them that of matches they got a problem with it. They know that they play school, the CBeebies of football debate. They just have to. Just because, I always say, just because you shout the ladders doesn't mean you're the most intelligent.
No,
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I agree.
Man. Before we jump over to Early Doors show in a minute, people go and watch Early Doors in a minute. We're on there. Shout your channel out, mate.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, guys. It's been great being on with you guys and stuff like that. Like I say, I don't dislike Arsenal. I do when we're playing them, to be fair, but then I dislike anybody when we're playing them, so it's always the same. But yeah, it's Long-Eared Yeti's Cave. Come down there. Let's have a laugh. We always have great watch-alongs and just a lot of fun. There's loads of stuff coming to the channel, which is going to be hilarious, and it's going to involve the chat as well.
He gets copyrighted when I watch.
Well, yeah, I get copyrighted because of Jez. I mean, he's a prick, so, that's what happens. But, Long-Eared Yeti's Cave, come check it out, man. It's awesome.
Yeah, that was class yesterday. If you haven't watched it, we were chatting away, and I said to Yeti, show this clip by Gary Moore, and within literally a minute, his show was cancelled by YouTube. Ridiculous, man.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. But anyway, there we go. Abs, mate, shout your channel out. Where can we find you? What's coming up?
Yeah, Football Bantz channel. Can catch me on all the socials as per usual. Nothing really coming up. I don't know if me and Tony are doing anything during the week, but I'm just going with the flow at the moment. I'll probably think of something tomorrow. I don't know. I'm just random at the moment.
Fair play, man. Fair play. Tony, Claude, I'm on with you tomorrow night doing a watch along for the game. Looking forward to that.
Yes.
Please
yes.
Please shout yourself
Yeah.
out.
Big ups to everyone who joined us this evening. Thank you very, very much for
I'll
joining
jump
us
on
this
that as
evening.
well, Tony.
Jezza, big ups to you, man. You know, you've been on tour for the past at least 6-7 weeks. You've been on tour to other channels, you know, helping other brothers out. Big ups to you, Jezza. I see you. Every other member of this community, we see you. You've been on each and every one of our channels. I really want to take this point in contact to tell you, Jez, thank you very much, because you're really leading this community in a very big way. Thank you so much. Yeti, big ups to you, man. Always a laugh doing a stream with you, my brother, man. And of course, Ken, big ups, man. Ken, it was nice to see you, you know, prop up Manchester United, and later on you just called them abysmal at the end of the day.
You know what? You got to be impartial, right? When you do your football, when you do your alternative culture, you got to be impartial. You got to be excited. You know, if I see a great goal, even if a Spurs player scored it, I'll say great goal. Oh, damn, you know what I mean? But you know, I think
Exactly.
it was just a shock of that shot. It was a shock that you thought, no, he's not going to do it. It's not going to go, and it goes in. Bloody hell! But you know, there's some great goals, but you know,
yeah, exactly.
Let's just hope. Let's just hope
exactly.
that Man City, the third best team in the country, not the best team in the country again. Because if you call the Premiership the best league in the world, I'm sorry, the team that wins it 4 years in a row bastardizes that theory. I'm afraid you can't call it the best league in the world. There's only one team dominating. Stop bigging English football up, because English football is a farmers' league, and Man City win it 4 times in a row, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, definitely. Big ups to Bantz also. I'll be having a show with him during the week, Arsenal Crash Talk. On Tuesday, I'll be having a show, Dylan Claude show with Ora Gunguna down there with me. You know, I'll also be having a show with Matty the Southern Guna also. I have a brand new show coming up on Monday, me and Josh True Gunner. So me and he will be on on Wednesday, me and Josh True Gunner, a great guy. And Jesse also likes you too. So, you know, probably, you know, we'll be bringing you as a special guest to that show. And Yeti, hopefully within the weeks, I like to work with you, because there's some shows that I feel that, you know, your expertise will be needed. So big up to everyone. Join me on Claude Gunner TV. Smash the likes and subscribe to every other person who is down here. Kenny on Instagram, Bantz on his channel, Football Bantz, and Yeti. I don't know when your channel is coming back, but I hope it comes back quite quickly, man.
Well, it's back now.
Big up to you,
back now, mate. They just kicked me for that part.
Okay.
There's only one stream, man. It's one stream. But there we go. There we are. Yeah, I'm not reading that one out at all. But there you are. There you go. And yeah, big up, Manny, to Stephen Fleet, who passed away a year ago. Big up to Stephen, man. Lovely guy. Very sad what happened to him. Anyway, we're out of here, people. We're going over to now Early Doors' show. Great show on there. And if I knew how to do a redirect on here, I would do it, but I don't know how to do it. So we're out. Yeah, exactly. We're out of here. Tomorrow. I will see you tomorrow on the podcast, and I will see you tomorrow for player ratings and all that drama. And thanks, guys, for coming on. Thanks to everybody in the chat. We're out of here. Have a great evening. Take care. And I'll do the outro, and we're gone.
Bye.